Hello students, welcome back to the session. In the last session we were talking about the network terminologies and the different terms that we use in the network. And now in this session let us go with further NIC card. So NIC, this is nothing but your network interface card. NIC means network interface card. It is a hardware. NIC card, it is a hardware that is installed in a computer, so it can communicate on a network. And the network adapter provides ports for the network cable to connect to, and it will transmit and receive the data onto the network cable. And whichever network computers you have must have a network adapter driver which controls the network adapter. And the next term we have is the modem. So modem, normally we use as modem. Okay, so mo stands for modulator and demodulator. Modulator and demodulator. That is, it is a device that makes the computer to communicate over the telephone lines. Because the standard telephone lines uses analog signals. It uses the analog signals, and computer uses digital signals. Okay, analog signals are used by the phone and digital signals are used by the computer. So if you are transmitting the data over phone but using the computer, networking is through phones. So what it does is it controls the data so that it transfers the data from analog to digital, and again the demodulator will transfer it from again digital to analog and then give you the data. So that is your modem must be capable of converting, that is your modulate its digital signals into the analog signals, and the computer's modem on the receiving end must then demodulate the analog signals into digital. Now you are sending it from computer has digital signals, you are sending it through phone, so digital is converted into analog. So modulator can convert the digital signals into analog signals. So digital is converted into analog and sent. So while sending it is analog and it receives here. Received is in analog method again, but you will not understand analog data. The computer understands digital. So again it converts it into digital data. So demodulator converts into analog to digital and modulator converts from digital to analog. So this process takes place. So modems can either be external devices or internal devices. And the external modems are connected to the computers through serial port, and the internal modem will be connected to the expansion slots in the computer. And the modems are connected to the phone lines using telephone connectors. And the other term we use is your wireless or wireless versus mobile computing. Now normally we feel that mobile means wireless. No, it's a different device. Mobile means it is normally used to describe portable devices. Mobile means portable. A mobile device is one that can be taken anywhere, but it needs battery for power and must be connected to a modem for when you are transmitting on a mobile network that helps it to send and receive the data without attaching to the hardware, right? That's what you mean by a mobile. Whereas wireless means it is traditional computers or non-mobile devices where it can access the wireless networks. It can access wireless network. For example, a local area network where the router will take the cable in cables instead of cables. You can make it wireless by connecting to a LAN. So there are three different classes of mobile computing. That is, you have your portable computers, that is lightweight units which will have a keyboard and many softwares will be internal, that like laptops, notebooks, notepads, etc. And you have your mobile phones that has a restricted set of keys, and vocal communication is unlimited, like cell phones, smartphones, phone pads, right? And then you have your wearable computers, that is, it has a limited functional keys, and it is the softwares that is installed in the watches, wristbands, necklace, keyless impacts, all those things, wearable computers which you are wearing on your body. Okay, now let us talk about the limitations. What are the limitations in your mobile computing? One is the range or bandwidth. So the mobile internet access is lower compared to the direct cable connections because of the wireless computing. It requires a wider range and bandwidth. If there is no range, then you cannot access the data. So that is one of the limitations in your mobile computing. And the security standard is one of the limitations. That is, when you're working with a mobile, you are depending on the public networks. So security will be a major concern because you are using the public networks. One can easily attack the networks, that is because it is interconnected through the lines, wireless. And power consumption again is a limitation. That is, if the portable generator is not available, then mobile computers must rely entirely on the battery power. If the battery loses its power, then you cannot use the mobile phones, right? Again, the same way your laptops also, which works on the battery power. That is one of the limitations. And then you have transmission interference. That is, sometimes when let us go for the mobile phones only. When you're working in a remote areas, if there is no network, then if it is a rain, there's a disturbance, you hear the term, if there is a disturbance in the network, you're not able to hear properly. Why is all those things happening? Because of the transmission interference. That is due to the weather or the range from the nearest point, all can interfere with the signal reception. If you're getting into tunnels or some buildings or rural areas, network is very poor, that is transmission is very poor. And then you have your potential health hazards. That means that the people who use the mobile devices while driving, they get distracted from driving, and there might be accidents. And they also say major use of the mobile phones, because of the waves, radio waves it generates, is not good for health, right? All these things are the health hazards that you have. Now let us go for the next term, that is your local loop system or wireless loop. On the other hand, wireless, that means it serves subscribers at homes or offices. Just go through this wireless or local loop system. Wireless or local loop system, the different types you have in this. That is the global system for mobile communication. Sorry. That in short it is known as your GSM. So this global system of mobile communication, GSM, it is a accepted standard globally for digital cellular communication. It is a standardized group that was created in 1982. Many countries use this GSM earlier. We have your SIM. You already know what do you mean by SIM. SIM means subscriber identification module. SIM means subscriber identification module, or also known as subscriber identity module. So it is an integrated circuit. It is an integrated circuit that stores the international mobile subscriber identity. Integrated circuit that stores the international subscriber identity. International mobile subscriber identity, that is IMSI. And the keys, whatever the related keys to identify and authenticate the subscribers on the telephone devices such as your mobile phones, computers. So you have your SIM. It is embedded into the removable plastic card, and this plastic card is called a SIM card, and you can transfer the SIM card between different mobile devices. So they also have certain standards. Earlier the SIM cards were bigger, like a credit card. Now we have your micro SIMs, right? And the next term is your GPRS. What is GPRS? GPRS means General Packet Radio Service. General Packet Radio Service. So it is a packet oriented mobile data service that was provided on the 2G and 3G cellular communication systems. That is, it's a packet based wireless communication service that provides data around 16 kbps up to 114 kbps. That is the speed of the data. Now you have the 4G, 5G. In the same way, earlier you had your 2G, 3G, which is where the speed was lesser, and continuous connection to the internet for the mobile phones and the computer users. So if you have a higher data rate, it allows you to have video conferences with websites using notebook computers. You can be done. So this GPRS is based on the GSM, that is your global system for mobile communication, and it also has circuit switched cellular phone connections, and also your SMS, that is your short message service. Everything can be done with your 2G and 3G with using your GPRS. It also accommodates your Bluetooth, and you can replace some wired connection between the devices with wireless connections. And you have your CDMA. CDMA, that is a radio systems always uses two different types of resources, that is your frequency and time. In frequency division, that is FDMA, that is frequency division multiple access, FDMA. So particular frequency is allotted for the server. Now for example, you might have heard about the FM radios. FM is frequency modulated, that is 98.1 FM, 101.3 FM. They say that is a frequency is allotted to the user. So each pair of communicators is allocated certain part of the spectrum for all the time. And you have your TDMA, that is your time division multiple access. Time division multiple access. So what happens in this is, here you have a certain time, a frequency, certain frequency in particular time, and you have your code division multiple access, that is CDMA. Here they will be allotted entire spectrum all the time. So they use codes to identify the communications. You might have heard, for a few years back you had a CDMA phones. So that will work only with certain uh, services, that is only with Airtel or only with Idea, because they are allotted certain frequency all the time. So that mobile phones will work only with CDMA SIMs. So they use this CDMA uses unique codes to spread the baseband data before transmission. It is transmitted in a channel which is below the noise level. The receiver then uses this they need one more device correlator to to take back the wanted signal again through a band pass filter. Unwanted signals will not be sent. All these things are there. So it is a CDMA. So these are the different terms that you have in your networking. And for now, let us stop and then continue with the different generations of network in the next session.